So as usual, we're going to meditate on making our speech powerful. Like I say often, we don't pay any attention. We think speech is nothing in our culture. We just think it's nothing. You know, I can say what I like. We have no concept, you know. The Buddhist view is so completely opposite. It's that every single word we say counts. And why? Because every thought counts. Why? Because this is what produces us. We literally create ourselves. And the process of creating ourselves starts with the mind and then goes through into the speech and goes through into the actions of our body. That's it, you know. So we're trying to mold our mind into any shape. We can mold our mind into any shape we like, Lama Zopa says. And so we're doing that. And then what we're concentrating on here is the speech part. And speech is unbelievably important just in ordinary life. You can't survive without speech. You can't survive without, you need people to listen to you. You need people to do your wishes. You need people to believe you. You need people to take you seriously. So much of the suffering we have is because those things don't happen, you know. So we need to purify our speech, make our speech powerful. So one basic fundamental way is to be silent. Just shut up, you know. It's amazing. Zip the lip. Don't speak rubbish words. It's the most powerful practice. And then here, this is from Tantra, you know, all the Sanskrit mantras and things. This is from the more advanced level of teachings. And that's based on, all this is based on the view, the way we're constructed. We have the gross body and gross mind. Then we have this subtle body and subtle mind, and very subtle and very of these, and different levels of our energy, you know. And this is similar to the Ayurvedic system, the yoga system, the Chinese one. And we've got this subtle body, the subtle nervous system, 72,000 subtle channels. And coursing through those channels is this subtle wind energy, prana. And then wind, and then related, and then our mind is inextricably connected to these different wind energies. But wind is speech. You know, if there's no air, there's no sound. Sound is speech. And because as humans, we have articulate speech. And this is the greatest gift of the Buddha. This is advice. We need advice, you know. So we need our own speech to be powerful. But even just not even so it can be a benefit to others, but so we can have our wishes fulfilled, you know, so we can get things done. But not only that, saying mantra, saying these Sanskrit syllables, which is what all the mantras are made of. All the mantras, all the words, the Sanskrit words are made of this. This is the Sanskrit alphabet, basically, that we're repeating. And it's said to be some very pure sound. So by reciting these syllables and visualizing, purifying, you know, we're just also purifying ourselves, purifying our own mind, because our mind is connected to the winds. So it's multi-purpose, you know. So let's do our little prayer, a sweet little refuge prayer. Matt will put it up. I can't see you all, but never mind what to do. So here it is. So just this first little refuge prayer. Just say it, these words, if you feel like it. Konchog Sumla Kyabsuchi. I take refuge in the three jewels. Jola Penchir Sangye Shog. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. I take refuge in the three jewels. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. I take refuge in the three jewels. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. So now just visualize Buddha above your head. That's it. Just imagine the Buddha above your crown. And then, so now you imagine on your tongue, just use your creative imagination. On your tongue is a syllable R. So obviously we don't know this. If we do know the Sanskrit and the Tibetan, fantastic. If not, the Roman letters AH, R, standing upright. And that turns into a moon disk. That turns into a moon disk, flat, like a flat white cushion on your tongue. So now imagine, on top of the moon disk, there's a white Om, O-M, standing upright on your tongue. Just imagine. And it's surrounded by the white vowels, all the white vowels. Of course, we don't know the Sanskrit ones, so just have to pretend, you know, what can we do? Standing upright, going clockwise, surrounding the Om on your tongue, on the moon disk. And then surrounding that counterclockwise on the moon disk, surrounding the Om and the white vowels, there are the red consonants, counterclockwise. And surrounding, the red consonants and the white vowels, which are surrounding the Om on the moon disk, are now the syllables of the blue, in blue, clockwise, the syllables of, as Rinpoche calls it, the dependent related heart mantra, or as the common term we know is dependent arising, the mantra of dependent arising. So the white, the red, and the blue, surrounding the Om on the white moon disk on your tongue. So now you imagine light beams go out from all these syllables, the color of the syllables, go out to the whole direction, all the directions of the universe, north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, all the side directions, and then up and down. It's 10 directions they talk about, to all the 10 directions. And what it does is hook the blessings and all the blessings and the power and all the positive energy of the speech of all the holy beings, all the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, all the great yogis, and even all just the good people doing good on this planet, hooking the energy, all the positive energy of all of this. And all this light, bringing back this energy, comes back and dissolves into the syllables on our tongue, making them radiant and full of the power of speech, full of the power of all the holy beings, all the beings, all the good beings, all the positive people, happy people, positive people, virtuous people. This includes, and it's called the power of speech, especially from, as Rinpoche says, this includes the power of speech of all the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, those living in the three, all the holy beings, all the power of speech even of ordinary people, Those who've achieved the power of words, who've actualized the words of truth, and who have the great power in their speech. So because of them living in silence and because of living in the good ethics of abstaining from all the negative karma of speech, they've refrained from lying, they've refrained from abusive speech, they've refrained from just rabbiting on about nothing, useless speech, and they've refrained from bad-mouthing people behind their backs. They've purified their speech, made it so powerful. All this power is now in our syllables. Imagine this. On our tongue. So now we're going to recite and visualize in each lot. So first we recite the vowels, and they're pretty simple. They're right here. And then we imagine this nectar, white nectar, pours down and up from these vowels, filling our body completely. And this time we think that this is totally purifying all the actions we've ever done since beginningless time with our bodies to harm sentient beings, countless lifetimes, all the killing, the stealing, the sexual misconduct, abusing, harming others with our bodies. All the karma we created from all of this since beginningless time is instantly purified by this blissful white nectar completely filling us. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, e, o, ang, a, swaha. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, e, o, ang, a, swaha. Om, a, I, u, ri, li, e, o, ang, a, swaha. Full of this white nectar, totally purifying all the nonsense of our bodies, the things we've done in our lives. Sometimes we have a lot of guilt and shame about it, but don't. Imagine it's all purified. Anything we've ever done to harm others, killing of the creatures, the ants, killed our little pets, out of compassion. We killed that, maybe that we've killed the fetus in our body. Many of us do that. All this harm we've done to sentient beings with our bodies, totally purified, not one atom left, full of this blissful white nectar. We feel so happy. Because there's no karma we can't purify. There's no negativity that is stuck, is set in stone, not possible. And it's the mind that creates it, so the mind purifies it. Imagine. So now we recite the consonants. No, that was the vowels. No, now the consonants, yeah. And as we say these, we're going to visualize red nectar pouring out from this, filling us completely, totally filling us, purifying all of us, in this case, all of our speech, all the rubbish, especially as humans, isn't it? We humans with our clever speech, purifying every atom of the lying, the bad-mouthing behind backs, the abusive language, and all the rabbiting on useless speech. Not one atom left. All the speech we've ever done to harm sentient beings. And for us, most of us, it's our speech, isn't it? We mightn't go around raping and killing too many people, but we use our speech wrongly. All of this purified, imagine, full of this blissful red nectar. Om ka 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 ga nga, cha 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 janya, ta 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 da na, ta 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 da na, pa pa ba ba ma, ya ra lava, sha sha sa hak sa swaha. Om ka 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 ganga, cha 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 nya, ta 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 da na, ta 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 da na, pa pa ba ba ma, yara lava, sha sha sa hak sa swaha. Om ka 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 ga, nya, cha 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 ja nya, ta 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 da na, ta 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 da na, pa pa ba ba ma, yara lava, sha sha sa hak sa swaha. Completely full of this blissful red nectar. Not one atom left of all the karma from the negative speech, and our speech totally purified. And now we recite the syllables of the mantra, dependent related heart mantra, the mantra dependent arising. And this purifies our mind. And of course, this is particularly dependent arising as the king of logics to prove emptiness, to get the wisdom that sees everything as it is, to completely annihilate all the delusions, which are the source of all the problems with our body and speech, the source of all our suffering. As we recite these, we visualize blue nectar, completely filling us and eradicating all the fears and the anxieties and the worries and the dramas and the attachment and the endless chatting away and the uncontrolled thoughts and the obsessive thoughts, all the rubbish, all the delusions. They're not at the core of our being. They don't define us. They're not who we really are, although this is the tragedy. We believe they are. We believe all these crazy stories in our head. This is our problem. We just imagine them all these delusions, all these stories, all these conceptual nonsense, annihilated, totally purified. Om ye dhamma hetu prabhava hetun te shan tatagato yevadat te shan shayo niroda evam vadi maha shamana yesvaha. Om ye dhamma hetu prabhava hetun te shan tatagato yevadat te shan shayo niroda evam vadi maha shamana yesvaha. Om ye dhamma hetu prabhava hetun te shan tatagato yevadat te shan shayo niroda evam vadi maha shamana yesvaha. Totally full of this radiant blue nectar, purifying all the delusions, the ego grasping that believes in the nonsense me, the attachment to get what that nonsense me wants, the panic attack of aversion when it doesn't, and all the other dramas. Imagine, totally purified, disappeared, full of this radiant blue nectar. So now we imagine the blue dependent related heart mantras, the syllables all dissolve into the red consonants on our tongue. The red consonants dissolve into the white vowels. The white vowels dissolve into the Om, the white Om. The Om dissolves into the white moon disk. And then the white moon disk turns into an R-A-H. And that turns into pink-colored nectar, which dissolves into your tongue. As Rinpoche says, the tongue now becomes indestructible, like Vajra nature. Nothing can harm or take away or destroy the power of your speech, of your mantras, of your speech. Have strong confidence that all the power and blessings of the speech of all the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, all the great sages, all the yogis has entered your speech, and you've perfected your speech. I have perfected my speech, think. And that means the second that sentient beings hear your sound, hear your speech, the ants, the dogs, the humans, whatever you say, it immediately pacifies their emotional and disturbing, or their unhappiness. People somehow get benefit from your speech. Just the sound of your speech benefits others. Can you imagine this? Makes them peaceful, makes them calm. You know, the animals, the creatures, the humans. And not only that, but everything you say, you know, when you want your shopping, you say it, it'll happen. You know, people will believe your words. People will trust your words. Can you imagine this? Not to mention, the more you practice, and the more you understand, reality, the more you'll be able to benefit people in the most profound way. One simple piece of advice could help transform a person's life. The power of speech. This is the greatest gift of the Buddha. You know, we can have a million Buddhas every day looking at us very nicely, and if they don't open their mouths and give us advice with speech, then we can't do anything. We can't get enlightened. So by thinking this way, the power of your speech becomes marvelous, and all your mantras have a million times more benefit, and you purify your speech every second. And it won't just be gossip. Think like this. Be very delighted. And have the aspiration to want to control your speech every day. It's a major practice, I tell you. Like I said, most of us don't lie or steal or kill too much. We don't. I mean, no, sorry, the lying, yes. We don't do too much heavy-duty stuff with our bodies. Think about it. But our speech is the one. Our speech is the one that does so much harm and causes so much pain and suffering to us and then to others. Because we know once the words are out, you can't take them back. So to have, just in one day, if you can make it a conscious decision to harness your energy of your speech, make a decision not to say words that aren't true. And even though we don't consciously lie, often we just speculate and we say it with confidence. And we so often, one of the commonest things we do this. We don't consciously lie, but we always want to be eager, we're eager to be right. So we'll say an answer to something, where a place is, what is this, what is that, or I read this and I read that. But we say it as if it's the truth, and we mislead people. So really watching our speech is a profound practice. And the first person to benefit from this is you. So beneficial, I tell you. It sounds so simple and boring. It's not. It's profound. Control the speech. Be conscious that when you're speaking, you're going to say something that's right, that's valid. I mean, you can also be happy. You don't have to be serious. You can laugh and talk about the weather and say, "How are you? How are you?" That's conscious, kind speech. Not to talk about people behind their backs. That's a major one. Just every day, make this our practice. It's profound. It's transformational, I tell you. So there's a little dedication prayer. So it's a sweet little dedication prayer. May my tongue have all the courage of the ones gone to bliss, but the power manifesting from these glorified words, may all sentient beings be subdued, and whatever words I say, may all these actions be accomplished instantly. I mean, if you want to benefit the world, you need your speech to lead it. How amazing, Be delighted. Oh, we've got 10 minutes to go. We could always leave early. It was a 20-minute meditation. Yeah, 20 minutes is enough. Don't mean to cheat you. I thought I was going slow. There you go. Good. Okay, we'll say a few little prayers. Why not? Yeah, so we'll think you know, we'll think all these people we rely upon, you know, I mean, let's say in my case, I've relied upon Lama Zopa, I've relied upon His Holiness the Dalai Lama from their speech in order for me to practice so that I can be using my speech so I can benefit people. So we make, you know, anybody who's benefited us in this way, we make this aspiration, we have this wish that they live long lives. You know, it's a very meaningful thought to have. The world needs good people. I mean, anybody, even just us, may we live long. I mean, if we're going to benefit even a few people, may we live long. The world needs virtuous, good, ethical people. So we think, you know, Lama Zopa say, for example, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath, that's Manjushri, the Buddha of wisdom's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the three jewels, savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And then His Holiness the Dalai Lama, may he live. He's promised. I mean, often you hear when he talks to Tibetans, he promises he's going to live till he's 110. So we've got, he's 85 now. 85, more than that. More than that. Anyway, he's promised he'll live to 110. So let's want him to live till 110. The world needs him for sure. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in the world. To the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Okay, that's good. And Lama Ursel, the reincarnation of Lama Yeshe, venerable one, whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please, please live long. Okay, good. That'll do. A few positive thoughts. And may we all live long. And again, make this aspiration today, as whether it's the end of the day or the beginning of the day for you. Just to be conscious, you know, be conscious of what comes out your mouth. You will be so happy, I promise. I mean, we will be so happy, you know. You see, there's controlling your body, controlling your speech, and controlling your mind. In all cases, it's the mind that does the job of doing that. So in the beginning, we use our mind to be conscious of our body and our speech. That's what we're doing here. And then just by becoming controlled body, controlled speech, it makes it easier to actually focus on controlling the mind. It's obvious. You've got to go one step at a time, you know. You've got to control the servants of the mind first, which is the body and speech. And we don't think it's important in our life. I mean, we know it's not good to harm other people, but we don't ever think that there's a benefit to us, you know, but this is the point here. By controlling our body, our speech, and our mind, we are the first beneficiary. Never doubt that. And don't think, oh, that sounds selfish. It's absolutely vitally necessary. Then we can benefit others effortlessly. Then it's easy. Thank you, people. Much love.
Robina, before you go, there was a question in the chat box. Mary Jo was asking about where it says the benefits will not be snatched by eating.
I know. I mean, yeah, I don't know all those things. I don't understand all that. But I suppose you could say that, you know, the speech, when it's totally pure and subtle, anything you do, you put, I mean, it makes sense that eating kind of is a polluting activity because it's driven by strong attachment. So the best way would be to by Geshe Lama Kontrog, this wonderful yogi, the greatest yogis, they don't eat. They don't even eat. They live. He lives on the air. He's able to completely nourish. So it makes sense that even eating can be polluting, you know, because we eat because we have to sustain ourselves, but it's a gross activity, isn't it? Not being horrible about us. It's a gross activity. I mean, it sounds curious, snatched by eating. It's odd, isn't it? But it makes sense that it would naturally have an effect on the wind energy and therefore your speech. It makes sense if you think about it. I mean, that's why if we do eat, as we have to eat, most of us, we're not that subtle, then as long as we do it with a pure motivation and think of it as nectar that's going to transform us and help us be healthy so we can help others, that already makes it more pure. That's good, you know. I hope that helps, Joe. All right, darling people, any more?
Thank you, Robina.
Any more questions? We don't have to rush off. Are there any more questions? No? That'll do.
Anna has a question for Robina.
Anna, darling, yes, sweetheart. What's your question?
Hello, Venerable. I'm coming up to a couple of important dates where, you know, I'll be due to talk quite a, you know, serious.
Yes.
Now, somebody suggested to me to try and exchange yourself. So see yourself as the Buddha and also see the other person as in their Buddha nature.
Yes.
And try and correspond with that visualization.
Yes.
It becomes quite difficult due to the content of what's to be said.
I know. Well, now I know. So keep it simple. Do what's best for you. Just have the aspiration in the morning, you know, just to speak the truth, to be sincere, to want to be of benefit, not to be, you know, to want your speech to be positive and powerful so that these people will believe you. You need people to believe your speech, darling. So that's what you have to concentrate on by making your speech good. And you do meditation in the morning, you bless your speech, and the main thing you want for this occasions that are coming, you want people to believe your speech, don't you? That's the best for you. Think that way and want to speak the truth and want every word you say to be for them to make to want to listen to your words and believe you. That's what you should focus on.
Thank you, Robina. And to add, that is actually happening. It's blowing my mind, but
there you go.
I'm going to try and keep it up. Thank you.
Wonderful. So keep moving, darling. Thank you, precious people. 장첩 샘적 림포체 마케파남 개교칙 개파냠파 매파양 공내공두 펠바쇼.
Thank you, Robina. Thanks, everybody.